She notices the sound before anything else. Not the explosion, not the sirens. The sound is smaller, closer. Rubber wheels against the corridor floor. Another stretcher. The war rarely announces itself inside the hospital. It doesn't march in with flags and speeches. It arrives like this. On a thin mattress under a gray blanket, breathing too fast. The nurses on the night shift call it the hour of ghosts. Sometime between midnight and 3 a.m., when the generator hums louder than the city, and the only light is the tired buzz of the fluorescent tubes. On the 4th floor, she moves like a habit. Check the IV, adjust the mask, write the time. She's done this so many times her hands know the way, even when her mind is somewhere else. Remembering a song, a grocery list, a promise she hasn't kept yet. But that night, something is different. 3 patients, same neighborhood, same strange burns on the skin. No sirens, no official warning. Just silence until the stretchers appear. She writes it down because that's what she does. But this time, when she closes the chart, the ink feels too thin for what she just witnessed. So she reaches for her phone. Strike, 2314, no siren, 3 patients, same street. A single line in a nameless notes app. Nothing heroic, nothing loud, just a tiny act of not letting it slip away. The first time she tells herself it's just for her, a way to mark the madness, like scratching tallies into a prison wall. But the pattern doesn't care what she tells herself. It keeps growing. 2nd week, another cluster of patients. 3rd, same smell in the clothes, a chemical taste in the air that clings to the back of her throat long after she leaves the room. Every time the official story is the same. Isolated incident. Accidental explosion? Nothing to worry about. But in her notebook, the words refuse to match. She remembers where they came from, who was holding who, which child wouldn't stop screaming. Strike, 0132, smoke yellow-white, wind to the east. Strike, 0247, family of 4, all from same building. The more she sees, the more she understands that the world outside is watching a different war. On TV, the experts argue over borders and ceasefires. Inside room 407, the only borders that matter are between what the body can survive and what it can't. It doesn't happen all at once. There is no dramatic moment where she decides to become a witness. It happens sideways through small, tired choices. She starts taking photos of the notes, then of the injuries, then of the sky outside the hospital window, where the smoke hangs too low, too long, in colors that don't belong to any ordinary fire. Her fingers shake the first time she hits send. One message. To a friend in another city. Who knows someone? Who knows someone? Who once mentioned working with a human rights group. After she sends it, she stares at the delivered checkmark like it's a verdict. Then another stretcher arrives and she goes back to work. Thousands of kilometers away, in a quiet office with soft carpets and strong coffee, an investigator opens an anonymous email. The images are grainy, the English is broken, but the timestamps are crystal clear. The investigator zooms in, reads the lines between the lines. No warning. Same smell. Children this time. They cross-check the dates with satellite images, with wind patterns, with other reports whispered out of the same region. Slowly, the nurse's midnight notes stop being private thoughts and become something else. Evidence. Back on the 4th floor, she knows none of this. For her, the world is still the rhythm of the monitors, the smell of disinfectant, the heaviness of people's eyes when she has to tell them the truth without really telling them at all. Your husband is stable. Your son is critical. We're doing everything we can. Her phone buzzes in her pocket between rounds. A new app, a new chat, a stranger asking questions no one else has ever had the courage or the decency to ask her, where were you when you saw the smoke? What did people say right after the blast? Has anyone asked you to change the records? For the first time, someone treats her memory like a map. She answers quietly under the weak light of the staff room, her back against a peeling wall. As she types, she realizes something. Her notes were never just for her. They were for this, for the moment someone finally cares enough to connect them. The report doesn't have a soundtrack. In real life, justice arrives in PDF format, not in dramatic music. When it's finally published, her name isn't there. Instead, there's a sanitized sentence buried near the back, based on consistent testimony from frontline medical staff. But she recognizes herself in the details, the dates, the descriptions, the way they mention a distinct smell and a particular kind of burn that officials had denied existed. International law calls it a prohibited weapon. She never learned that term in nursing school. She just called it the thing that made the children's lungs stop working. There is a cost to naming things aloud. In the weeks that follow, new rules appear at the hospital, new administrators, new forms.